Hi, I'm Sliding Mike. Welcome to my pick and fret licks. For over 40 years, I've been strumming this dulcimer, enjoying playing all those old-time mountain songs. But sometimes, on some days, my fingers need to play more than old-time mountain music. I need to play some old-time rock and roll. This lesson is not about rock and roll. This lesson is about exercising these fingers. These three fingers get the least amount of exercise, but yet I often use the little finger and the ring finger to play notes, so they need to be stronger. And I do it in this exercise drill by making bar chords. Bar chords are where you put a fretting finger on each of the three notes on one fret. I'm going to show an exercise that will strengthen these three fingers, and that exercise is playing bar chords. Bar chords are where all three strings are fretted on the same fret. I would like to stress that you don't put your fingers down flat like this because they wouldn't hit the same fret. You need to have your hand up and down. So I have a little finger on my melody string, the ring finger on the middle string, and my middle finger on the bass string. And you play it like you normally would, right behind the fret. So try putting your fingers there first. And just strum that. Now I'm kind of leaning my hand over so you can see how the fingers come on the fret. I normally wouldn't play it that way. I would play it with my hand leaning forward like this. This is the easiest and most flexible way I've discovered to play bar chords. And it will help my finger, because sometimes my pinky finger will be used to play notes like that. It needs to be strong. So put your finger, little finger on the melody string, ring finger right next to it on the middle string, and middle finger on the bass string, right behind the fret like you normally would use to play. I roll my hand over. So in this exercise, we're going to use fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4, and fret 5. Now when you get higher on the fretboard, it's harder to keep that straight line with your fingers. The solution I use is I will either push my dulcimer out when I play so I can go higher, and I also can turn it more. I can angle the dulcimer more so that I'm having less squeezing of my hand or cramping up of the hand. So put your fingers on fret 1, strum it, and of course we get a chord, right? All bar chords are chords. Now we're going to put up our fingers on fret 2, then we're going to do fret 3, now we're going to do fret 4, and fret 5. Now, we can do that, and if you do that, for 10 or 15 minutes every day or so, you'll be amazed at how much your fingers strengthen. I am not really a good person for playing scales. My problem is I get bored with scales. I need something that gives me a little more interest. So I've come up with a little exercise that's my little rock and roll song that you heard at the beginning. Now, we're not going to do the entire rock and roll song. We're going to just do rock and roll. So if you put your finger, your bar chord, on 3, and we're going to strum that, move down to the 2, and move down to the 1. What we're doing is the song Old Time Rock and Roll. We're just doing the rock and roll. Let's try that. 1, ready, play. Now this exercise, this lick, is called writing the frets. And it's called that for a particular reason. Many times when I play songs, I don't want that sound. I want this sound. So you can have the normal sound or the muted sound. You get the muted sound by putting your fingers right on top or slightly in front of the fret. So instead of playing where you normally would, you would put your fingers right on top of the fret so you can feel that fret underneath it. So on top of the fret or in front of the fret, that's what I call writing the frets. It gives you some real unique kinds of choices to play. For instance, on fret 1, it's nice because I can play a rhythm such as this, by lifting your finger up, you get an open string that is contrast to the muted string. You can do that like in the beginning of an old time rock and roll. You can do that anywhere on the dulcimer if you do it really high. The next step would be, once you get your muted fret or even just your bar chord open, you don't have to have them muted. you can start to use your index finger and your thumb to play other open notes. In this pick and fret lick, you're practicing doing 3-finger bar chords to strengthen your lower fingers. You've learned to play nice open bar chords, and then when you want to have a little different sound, you can roll up onto that fret. You have a nice little muted sound. And then when you go one step farther, you can use the thumb and index fingers to play open notes above the fret.